It is now 7 o'clock, and I call the Environmental Commission meeting to order. We're going to go through the roll call, and I'll just have just let me know you're here, and we'll start down at that end with Michael.
Michael Walton here.
Virginia Schmidt here.
Jonah Pichette here.
John MacArthur here.
Sue Metzel here.
Patrick Jeffers, present.
Chuck Panacci, filling in for David Post.
Appreciate it. Thank you, guys. The minutes were not sent, and so we didn't get the minutes sent to us, so we have no minutes to approve at this time. So if there's no objection, we'll just table that until the next meeting of April 1st.
No
No
objection.
objection, that is tabled until April 1st. There are no presentations this evening. There's nobody in the audience for audience presentation. And that brings us to commissioners' reports. I think last time I started on my right, so we'll start down here on my left with Michael.
Nice and easy. I have no report.
All right.
Okay,
Thank you,
good.
Michael.
All right, I have a couple things to report. I think we mentioned last time that there is a new group called the Twinsburg Native Habitat Association, and we have two upcoming events. The first one is on March 15th, the Salamander and Frog Festival, and anybody that had kids in school might remember doing it with Stanley Stein a long time ago. So there are 3 teachers in the group, and they all worked with Stanley in the past. So they are putting everything together, crafts, games, educational activities, the 15th of March from 1 to 3 at the community center. And I have flyers I'll pass around. And then the other event is on May 15th, and it is, May 3rd, and it is the Native Plant Workshop and Plant Sale, and this is something that the Twinsburg Garden Club used to do. We did it for 5 years, and we stopped in 2020. So now we were bringing this back. This is going to be at Christ the King Church on Ravenna Road, and it is from around 9. The plant sales start, the speakers start at 10. There's going to be 3 speakers, two in the morning, lunch break, and then the third one. So I have some information about that as well, and I will put it on the Twinsburg Native Habitat Facebook page, and maybe I'll put your name on it as well, so you could
Yes.
share it to environmental.
Absolutely.
That is it.
All right, perfect. And did you have flyers that you wanted us to take? Or?
Yes, I see that this was not the final version, so I have to
Okay.
write the date on it.
Absolutely.
So- But yes.
I have one. I could pass this
This-
up.
I have the Salamander Fest ones.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Oh, okay. That's the one I thought you.
All
yeah.
right.
It has all the info on it. You could pass it
There
around.
it
Did you get that at the library?
No, I got that at the senior center.
Okay, good.
They had them there
Yeah.
too.
They're advertising.
Okay.
For my report, I just want to give a quick update on the joint Earth Day, Arbor Day event. At the last meeting, we talked about scavenger hunts and how we could maybe have a scavenger hunt for people to do as one of our activities and things at our table. And so if you could take one of each and pass it down, we're going to bring out the teacher and me. I've sort of drafted kind of scavenger hunts here that we could have, 2 very different ones for age groups. One's a little bit, more simple, meant for younger children. And one is meant to have, individuals kind of go around to the rest of the tables and learn something new. And so I know we'll have beekeepers present. And so, the hint is, what's all the buzz about? And then it asks, what's one thing you learned at this station? And then we'll be able to provide stamps, and I'll just put those at each station's table, and once they've learned something and written it down, they'll just stamp it. When they come back and they've got this all filled out, they could just come to us, and we'll have prizes that Parks and Rec has so graciously purchased for us. And so I sent Parks and Rec kind of a list of a couple things that would be unique and cool to have as prizes, possibly like one of those squishy earth balls. I keep on theme. I said that would probably be the #1 cool thing to have, especially for all ages if used. Second to that, I suggested, possibly pens, pencils, if possible with our environmental commission on it, or third, cups, mugs, some things like that. And so they're purchasing for us, and so I'm very, very grateful for Parks and Rec, but we'll have prizes to give away thanks to them. And so this is just kind of that scavenger hunt. I wanted to show you guys, and if you have any changes or you want me to change anything, I'd be very happy to do so.
Is this the B?
That would be, so this one right here, I'll put a teacher out in me. This is meant for kind of the more little kids, if we're thinking like educational basis, probably 6 and under, probably 5 and under, 6 and under, around there. And this is simply, they're gonna just be able to look around
Oh, so
outside.
this doesn't go with this?
No,
Oh,
it's
I'm trying to
entirely
figure it
separate.
out.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Oh.
I should have been a little more clear.
Over my head,
No, these younger children, they'll find like the sun, oh, the sun, and they could color it in.
Oh, okay, I see, I
Right,
see.
and I think they could find it, and,
Yeah.
I think it'll be
You
fun.
wanna see these?
Sure, we'll take a quick look. Good, yeah.
But that's kind of the scavenger hunt update. That event is April 26th
Okay.
at the community center from 9 to 11 a.m. And so I'm really excited for it. I'm really looking forward to it, and I'm hoping you guys are all able to make it.
It's very nice. Good
That's a
job.
Saturday?
Absolutely. It is a Saturday, yes. Yes, I
9 to
think so.
11, okay, scavenger hunt.
Now you got me double, yes, that is a
Yes.
Saturday, yes.
Okay, and that's also Earth Day, right?
Earth Day is a couple days before.
Oh.
I think Earth Day is that Tuesday or Monday. But we just pushed it to the weekend so that we could combine, or Earth Day is the 22nd. So we've just pushed it to the
It's
weekend.
combined.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
it's the Arbor Day and Earth Day.
When we were out at the park and we froze to death, or I did, last year, was
Yes,
that,
that was just our Earth Day event.
that was your, okay,
Yes,
our,
our commission's Earth Day event. And so after, after our last November meeting, at a council meeting, I had informally talked with Director Benson, and I said, hey, wouldn't it be cool or unique if we could
Right,
maybe
right,
combine
now I
events?
remember, yeah.
And she seemed on board, and so when we got to meet again this year, I brought it to you guys, and you seemed excited, and she was more than willing to. So, and I'm very grateful for Director Benson willing to combine those events.
Good idea, good idea.
I think it's gonna be better, instead of us having a back-to-back weekend of Earth-related events.
Right.
Let's just pull everybody together for one big, event. But if you need changes or you want changes on the scavenger hunt, by all means, I'm open to them. But that's all I really have on that update.
Do you have one more copy?
Absolutely, I did print enough for everybody on the
Oh,
commission.
it's all right, you can keep it. He's got another copy. Okay, thanks.
And that's all I've got on my report. So John, we could bounce it over to you.
I have nothing this evening.
All right. And then Sue, we could bounce it over to you.
Okay, well, I'm joining all these groups, Arbor Day Foundation, and this is the Conservation Society and all this. And I'm, because I'm interested in, we're helping these, these societies if I can. Now, I had a lady come and show me what to plant, so I'm not going to use these plants, but if anybody is interested in building a butterfly garden, you get 3 plants, perennials, for if you send them $20. So I'm not gonna do it, but if anybody's, because I've already done trees and all, but if anybody's interested,
I've gotten some things from them before, and the quality was not that good.
really?
Yeah.
Because I got the little Christmas trees, 2 of them, and they were excellent,
In a pot,
in a pot.
yeah.
And they even gave you little ornaments to put on them, and they
The-
lasted for 3 months.
The things I got were bare root, and some of them had like mold on them, and
Oh,
so
okay.
mixed reviews then, I guess, for
Okay,
them.
all right. And then there's, you guys, anybody can look at this. I think I mentioned this once before. It'd be fun to have Twinsburg be a tree city. If you explore this, there's cities as small as 60 people or something, and then as, large as New York City with Central Park. But we could become a tree city and have signs up on the pole if we just agree to plant trees.
I believe we might
know
be
about that?
making progress towards being a tree city, or that was a
Yes.
Can
conversation
I
in
give
the
it to you
past.
then?
Yeah, I could. I know
All right.
that
I know
the
we-
city has looked into it a little bit
Okay.
and looked at the requirements, and most of them were things that we're currently doing, and,
Well, how do we
I know
get
there was some-
recognized? That's the thing that we need to try
Yeah.
to figure out.
yeah, I think there were a few items on there that we weren't quite doing yet, and there was a little bit of discussion at the city about
Here,
about
take
how
this too,
how
then. That
to
goes with it, yeah.
meet those those last few requirements and if that was something that we wanted to take a look at, but I will continue to bring that up with the
And-
city.
And this is a really good survey, which I am gonna fill out and send in, but it's all the things that we might be concerned about in the on the planet, and what things would be priorities. And of course, they're probably gonna get all different answers, to this, as far as what's most important. But, does anybody want to see this and/or fill it out? I really don't care if anybody's really interested. If not, I'll fill it out and send it in, but, okay. And does anybody know, they say, do you want to help protect the Karner blue butterfly in Ohio? And I didn't get a chance to look it up. Karner. Did anybody ever hear of it?
It's the lupin is the host plant for it. And I think it's around like, I don't know what they call the western basin or whatever of
Okay.
Lake Erie, up in that area.
Okay.
Karner blue. It's really pretty, like that bright.
Oh, yeah.
Blue.
Okay, okay. Well, anyway, so I'm just kind of doing that, and then I was just at a meeting, my condo board, and I said that I was hurrying over here, because I was just over there, and I asked if they had anything, to ask me about the Environmental Commission or anything, and they had funny things. They said, the one lady said, yeah, can you have the garbage men stop losing their garbage on the streets? I said, we don't have anything to do with that. You'll call the city. I said, but just get used to it.
In my neighborhood, I did see one garbage truck stop and get out and
And
pick
some
up
of them
something
do,
that
yeah.
had
I don't
come out of the
consider
truck
that a
and put
big
it
deal.
back in,
I'm
but
just
yeah.
saying that's what they asked me. And then the other thing she asked me, another lady asked me was, can we have more than one shredder at Shred Day? Which I wasn't sure. I've never been to Shred Day.
Yeah, usually there's the cost that's associated with that.
Oh, is that what-
With having somebody out there. Usually with the line usually gets a little bit long at kind of a peak time, and then
Oh,
it
okay.
kind of dies down.
Okay.
Usually able to accommodate everybody who shows up.
So I should tell her to come either first thing or last, kind of at the end of the time.
Not first thing.
Huh?
Not first thing.
Not first
They're
thing.
usually lined up first
Oh,
thing.
okay.
You
I don't
Wait
know.
until a little bit later in the.
Okay.
in the
Well, those are the
morning.
kind of questions I got. They're not really for us, they're more for the city. But I thought that was interesting. Okay, and that's really all I have.
That did bring up a question. Pat, do we have a date for Shred
We have a
Day?
date for Shred Day. I did get that for you guys. Dennis Lasky was able to set that up with the same company that we used last year for June 14th.
All right, June 14th.
I did not get the time from him, but I assume it's probably gonna be the same as last year. I forget exactly if it started at 9 or 10 or.
Yeah, I think last year was 9, so I'm assuming, yeah, probably same time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Awesome, thank you, I appreciate that. Sue, is there anything else report-wise?
No, that was pretty much all I had to say.
All right, and then we move on to our council report, and so Pat and Chuck will kind of turn it over to you guys.
Yeah, I already gave you the update on Shred Day. I did talk a little bit about T-shirts, if you guys want to get those ordered. Rebecca was all good with that. I did find out that the suggestion that David had last month about selling T-shirts would not be a good idea. I guess you're not allowed to, the city's not allowed to sell a product. So that would go along with the commission. But if you guys wanted to pick out a design and get those ordered before your Earth Day event, Jenny will be able to help with the order of those.
Did we decide on a design? Who was in charge of that?
I had brought a couple, and I in my hurry, I was going meeting to meeting after my work today. I had left all my designs at home.
Okay.
But I believe we discussed on the front, the Environmental Commission script, and on the back was the tree, and it said "Go Green."
Something.
It'll be
Is-
fine.
There was
Yeah.
something with Twinsburg on the bottom of the,
I think just on the front, we were gonna have, like the
Yeah,
Twinsburg
yeah.
Environmental
Yeah.
Commission script, and on the back, just maybe like that big tree that said "Go Green." And I think that's what we had decided, but I wasn't certain.
Seems
Does
nice,
that
yeah.
sound like my memory is serving me correct?
That sounds right.
No, we
Okay.
already established that.
Does that sound like my memory is serving me correct
Yes.
over here?
Yeah,
Okay.
And what color would the shirts be?
And so shirts, I imagine, would be white. Gina did send me her report. She said she couldn't be here. She did get a quote, as she talked about she would, for a white shirt. And from RDP, a minimum of 12 white, you're at $11.75 a piece, with exactly what we want. And so I imagine a white shirt that'd look pretty, sleek on the logo and the tree. I think that'd look pretty stylish. So.
Can I get mine in black? I would be willing to pay up more. I would, yeah, I don't like
I think if we're
white
doing a
shirts.
bulk order, it's got to be one solid
Yeah,
color,
yeah,
and
yeah.
I don't know how the.
You guys all really want a white shirt?
I think the white shirts personally look sleek. I mean, they stand out. They contrast very well with everything else. But
I
that's,
think like of other shirts that I have, I don't typically wear like a white T-shirt.
Right.
So yes, it would stand out for that reason.
Yes, I'd never wear a white T-shirt, and so. But I see Jedi commissions, and theirs is white, and I see it at all the events, and I know when I see it, I'm looking at the Jedi commission.
Yeah.
It does stand out. You could see the logos, you
Yeah.
can see their design on theirs.
Okay.
So that's why I lean white. If we really wanted another color, I don't think that
No,
would
it's-
not be
it's
an
okay.
option, but,
I don't want to rock the boat. The majority wins. I just wanted to bring it up.
okay. All right, so I could reach out to,
Either that or green like a tree. That would be nice too, like a dark green. But
Okay.
I was just curious how much more it would be for a color. Can you just find that out? And if it isn't any more?
But then the tree and the other.
yeah, then you'd have to invert the
graphics
colors.
were green,
Right.
so.
Well, you'd have the white on there then as the, on green. The tree would be like
Yeah.
white.
I could reach out to
I don't know.
Jenny, and I could
Yeah.
just see her advice as the marketing
Yeah.
coordinator.
I would guess that it's not necessarily the color, but like you said, 12 of one thing, not
Right.
3
I
of
get-
these
I
and 2 of
get that,
these,
yeah.
yeah.
So I just meant if the colors are more, that we'd all get the same color.
We
That's
could
what.
tie-dye our own as an
Yeah.
activity, as a bonding,
Yeah.
as a team.
Yes, that's a
There we
good
go.
idea.
We
I
could
like
do
that.
What I will need, and I will send this email, I'm not going to ask out loud. I'll need your shirt sizes. So I'll send an email asking for shirt sizes. If you could respond to that email, you don't have to reply all. I just need them so I could have them all. But that would be great. That way I could make sure they're all in one place, that I could get them to Jenny, and I could say, may you please order this, and that she doesn't have to hunt us down for our shirt sizes.
Would they be men's shirts?
I will double check on that, and I'll let you guys know
Okay,
before
because
I
again,
ask.
12 of the same, I mean, I don't mind wearing it, it just depends on the
I know,
size of
that
it.
is important, though, so I
Yeah.
will find out if it's gonna be all men's shirts, or
Yeah.
if we could do men's, women's sizing.
Okay.
But I will ask.
Okay.
If men's shirts, I will be sure to ask about that. All right, I apologize for hijacking the
Yeah.
conversation.
No
like
problem.
that.
And then the other thing that I had on here was just bringing up an update on the Rubber City reuse. I know we had the email go out, but to bring it up in a meeting here for the minutes, that Summit Metro Parks did work out a deal with Rubber City Reuse where they're putting the food scrap drop-off recycling in a number of parks throughout Summit County, Liberty Park and Twinsburg here being one of them. So that's once again a membership that people can sign up for to drop off food
It's
waste.
free. It's free.
Is it for free? Okay.
Well, then
That one
At
is,
that-
that is
At
free,
that location?
yes.
Okay.
So if you drop off your scraps, do you also get the composted soil?
No.
That's not part of it? Okay.
They do have a thing for members that you can purchase soil.
Is
I'm
it?
not sure if that would be open to people who drop off there, since that one's a free location without the membership, or if you, I'm not sure if you would or would not be able to purchase some of the compost.
I think I saw something, you can buy it, but the question would be if you have some sort of discount, I guess.
I see.
And then when you get to your award, Good Neighbor Award that you're going to bring it up later in the meeting, I just wanted to mention that Rebecca was very excited about that, and she wanted to try and look into different prizes that the city might be able to offer. And she is currently looking into something with Jen at Parks and Rec about whether it would be possible to offer either a pool pass or Rock the Park tickets or
that'd be
something like
nice.
that as as a prize for the Good Neighbor Award that you guys were looking into.
Yeah, that
That is very cool.
could go along with the plaque. Yeah.
Anything else there,
Nope,
Pat?
that's it for me.
All right. Councilman Minacci?
Yesterday, I attended one of the school district meetings for their ballot initiative. And with that, they had an interesting proposal for the Bissell property that I think aligns with what this commission does. That proposal included space for nature education, outdoor space, and it would be quite nice for the school district. Not endorsing or swaying the vote any way, shape, or form. It was an interesting proposal that was part of this initiative that was not part of the previous ballot initiative. So I think there would be an ample opportunity for different kinds of programming for this commission if that were to happen.
Very cool. Thank you. Anything else, Councilman?
Nope.
All right. So that moves us on to our unfinished business, which is discussion of that Good Neighbor Award. At our last meeting, we had, discussed our Environmental Commission awards. We had reached a consensus that starting with one is a good idea, and starting with the Good Neighbor Award was a great idea at that. I asked us if we could, look at the award as drafted out, see if we need to change the criteria. That would be fantastic. And then we have to decide as a commission, how do we narrow down, our nomination process? How do we narrow down individuals, to give this award to? But when we're looking at the Good Neighbor Award, did anybody have any changes to the language of the award or anything that we wanted to amend of it?
Nothing?
I sent you something.
Either
Is anyone not eligible, like a city employee or school employee, or is there anybody?
Right now, all we have from last year's discussion is that commission members are not eligible.
Okay.
We could easily add that city employees are not
This
eligible.
is the page I need.
I don't know if that's necessary or appropriate, but sometimes things like this.
I know we have a lot of city employees who live in the city as well. And so I don't know if we'd want to preclude them from receiving an award if they really are good neighbors.
Yeah.
But I suppose it's up to us, as a commission.
I don't remember the wording I used because I didn't bring the paper I wrote it on, but it was just something. Do you have it on your phone?
Yes, I think
I will
we-
check.
Did you guys did you get
Plan
it
it,
too?
you said,
I didn't, yeah,
not the
I
plan,
didn't.
but the community,
Well, you have the students or individuals under the age of 18. Wait a minute. Under the age of 18. Wait, this isn't the right page. This is.
I
There's
didn't
three.
remember seeing anything
Okay,
from
wait, let me
Sue.
find the one Good Neighbor Award, that's what we're talking
Yes.
about. Okay. I just thought, instead of, it was sort of vague to me about, dedicating time out of their day to the environment and leaving the planet in our community in better shape than it was given to them. I was thinking we should give them a little bit of a hint of what we're looking for, so I think I put in there, can't remember, I have to pull my phone up.
Did you send it via email? I'm trying to find it as you're
I
talking.
sent it right off of when you sent this out, it's on that email.
All right, I will-
On February 5th,
No, I
right
sent
after?
it today. I just sent it to him
Oh.
today.
I am not seeing
All right.
that one
I
today.
have it somewhere, I just can't find
Okay, and then I would have it under my sent emails, correct?
It should be there, yes.
It's not a very big change, and I
Here,
just,
this is what
did you
you-
find it?
Yes.
Okay. Jonah, I just had a thought about the wording. Instead of planet, why not say, leaves their community a cleaner, more beautiful, and environmentally friendly place to live? And then I said, I was just tweaking it a
I
little.
like that.
I like that.
You like that?
Yeah.
I thought it was maybe a little bit more expansive than, just talking about a nice
Yeah, I like that.
planet.
I do too.
Okay with that, yeah.
Well,
And could I
Yeah.
see that really quick,
Yeah.
just so I could update mine?
It just sounded to me a little bit vague, and I was just trying to zero in on, kind of what we were looking for. Because some people would clean, some people would plant flowers, some people would trim big hedges, I don't know. Some people would, what are we looking at, like, cut their neighbor's grass? I mean, there's.
Shovel the snow right
Yeah,
now,
there's a whole bunch of possibilities that we would recognize as being a good neighbor type thing. So that was my only suggestion.
I like that change. Are there any objections to striking out the last part where it says leaving the planet and our community in better shape than given to them, and replacing it with leaves their community a cleaner, more beautiful, and environmentally friendly place to live?
Yeah, no objection to that.
No objections, no objections? All right, then that
Oh, I gotta give this back to you. It's right in.
amendment
Right in
has
here.
been accepted.
Oh, I
Sue,
got
I
you.
think you might have accidentally sent that to John, and so that might be why I didn't
Oh,
get that.
okay.
No, that was the group, I think that was on,
I didn't get it. Maybe she
All right,
replied
maybe
to
I-
your reply?
it
Maybe.
was
Possibly.
your reply, Jonah, I
I'm-
think.
I don't know, but we got it now.
Yes, yeah, we
Yes.
got
It's
it.
okay, I don't have to read.
So I like that change. So we've made that change. Is there any other change that needs to be made for that?
I like what Sue mentioned something about giving people, not suggestions, but I think I wouldn't be nominating myself, I would be nominating somebody I know and say, oh, yes, that person does pick up trash in the neighborhood or various things. So maybe some cues, like to get them thinking about what to look out for.
Okay. So we could add those cues in, or we could, we could add those cues in. We would just need to know what we're adding in, how we're going to amend this. Because right now we have it saying awarded to a resident of the city of Twinsburg who acts as a good neighbor for all, who dedicates time out of their day to the environment, and leaves their community a cleaner and more healthier and environmentally friendly place to live.
And before you continue, how are we going to get the word out? Because if we just had this as the criteria.
Right.
But then, say on the Facebook page, have some details there, or some cues
Yeah.
there in the message.
And this could be posted on our page of the city's website to solicit nominations. We could probably post the criteria there. I can't speak on behalf of the communications department, but I don't imagine they would be against possibly soliciting this across the city's Twinsburg page. So that would be a way in which we could also get some information out.
Yeah, they might be able to include that in one of the city newsletters that
Yeah.
go out. You could also possibly include the winner in one of the
Right.
city newsletters to provide a little more exposure of the award that you're giving out and the applauds to the
Well,
person who wins.
once we know for sure that she wants to do that with the tickets or something, that would be under the award part. You'd have to amend that to say, in addition to a plaque, you'd have to say, the winner will have their choice of
Yeah, if we're able to work that
summer
out.
admission,
Yeah.
or, whatever. That would be something, to me, that would be something a little more juicy to go for, possibly than just the plaque,
Right.
yeah.
So, eligibility, do we want to restrict city, I know you mentioned restricting city
I don't
employees.
think it's necessary, in my opinion, but I didn't know if the city thought that was appropriate.
Okay, I have not spoken to the mayor, so I don't
Okay.
have the city's opinion on that.
It might be a little more transparent, a little more
Yeah,
in the interest of not looking like you're trying to award people that are employed by the city. I think it would probably be a good idea to exclude
Okay.
city employees.
so I probably would agree with that.
Spread it out.
Are there objections to excluding city employees in this?
No.
No, okay. And city employees. And so we have that eligibility. It's open to anybody, any resident in the city of Twinsburg, 18 years or older, who acts as, a good neighbor for all, who essentially who meets the description above. how do we want to narrow down nominations? Because we could accept nominations via our page on the city's website. How would we go about narrowing those down? My idea, and I correct me if this is something we can't do, my idea would be 3 of us could meet and narrow that pool down before presenting it to, the commission, saying here is who we believe is the good.
The top one, or like
Yes,
the top?
one.
Who,
Or top 2, and we could have the commission decide from there.
I'm sorry, who nominates to begin with?
Anybody in the city. So Billy Bob could nominate, Betty Sue, for being a good neighbor.
Or you can nominate yourself if you think,
Yeah.
it says right here, nominate a neighbor or yourself
Yeah,
for the
Billy
award.
Bob could nominate, himself, Betty Sue, what have you. And I'm using made-up names for the purpose of,
And then you have to
Made up
attach
Billy
an
Bob
essay or reasons why?
yeah, I imagine
I
we
mean,
could add a
list your-
section for
right.
why you believe this person fits this criteria.
Is that gonna be online
It would
with
be
this,
on-
or what?
It would be in my imagination, this would be on our webpage of the city's website. And so,
Only?
I believe, yeah, you'd have to consolidate where the nominations are, so they're not going everywhere and.
And you can link to that from newsletters, Facebook account, flyers you want to put at the
Okay.
library, something like that, but you
And-
could all drive them to your environmental commission
And so
webpage
that
for
public records are maintained.
submitting the submission.
Maybe this will be going overboard or stepping on toes, but would there be any way that Sam could, the mayor could, make a reference to it in his monthly newsletter, or is that? is that-
Yeah, I'm sure we could include
Is that-
something on
yeah.
in the newsletter
'Cause I
for
think most
asking
people
for
read
submissions.
that, whereas I don't know that they're gonna hunt up our page to
Right.
find out about it. So we need to have some things out there in different spots.
No, I have no concern about getting nominations.
You don't?
That's genuinely not a concern of mine.
Okay.
We could post by ourselves on the various Twinsburg pages. Virginia could say, hey, here's the link, here's what we're doing, nominate your
I don't
friends
know
and
how to
neighbors.
do that, but yeah, I think we should do that on
Um,
Facebook for sure.
So
yeah.
we could do that.
Uh-huh.
I could ask Mayor Scafidi if he'd be willing to include this in his newsletter he sends out. I could ask the council members when I speak at every council meeting if they'd be willing to talk to their constituents and send it whatever communique they have outwards. But I'm not concerned about getting nominations. I don't think we're gonna have 1,000 our first time around. But I think even if we have more than one, I think that's a really good starting point.
hope we
I am
have
confident we'll have more than one.
By default.
Yeah.
Could it be a couple or a household?
Yeah, I've never thought about that, but in my mind, I think that could work too. It could be like the Schmidt family. And they could all be nominated and they could all be,
Especially if it's
Yeah.
beautification of their yard or something, that's usually, a family project kind of more than, like if you're picking up litter or
the
something.
problem you run into with that is if Rebecca Ziegler is able to secure, possibly water park passes, rock park tickets, I don't know that they're gonna be able to give out, 4, 5,
For your-
3, what have you. And so there is that problem you run into.
Household.
Yeah, we'll have to see what we're able to work out
Right.
with Parks and Rec, see what they're willing to provide as a prize.
So, but I don't think it'd be, against the process to nominate a family. I don't think we have to spell that out, though. I think that
Okay.
could be, if somebody nominates the Smith family, the Billy Bob family, then they just do. And we go through at that time.
And that could kind of be the understanding. If someone nominates a family, but one of the prizes is a single ticket to Rock the
Yes.
Park, well then,
Maybe-
that's what you
Yeah,
win.
Yes.
right.
Maybe I have another idea, and maybe you can shoot it down if you want. You put, winners will be invited to receive their award at an environmental commission meeting. Well, as you can see, we don't have many people here. What if we did it at a council meeting? Would that be a little more exciting for them to come?
I think,
I know that we don't get a great turnout at council meetings either, but we get more than here.
when I created this, it was 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
The idea was to drive people to the commission meeting.
Okay,
And so that's why I'd said invite people to our
okay.
meeting.
I'm just throwing it out there. not,
I have no objection to where we present the award.
Yeah,
I can't control council's schedule, though.
yeah.
So we'd be at the will and the whim of the council president. And
Okay.
whether or not they'd be accepting of us doing that on their time.
That could be a second meeting
It
if
could
they
be.
decided. Maybe,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah. A second place to recognize them, yeah. And they can decide if they want to come again or not. Good.
But for actually whittling down the nomination process, I think the best and most effective way to do that, instead of us trying to sit together as a, all seven of us saying we have 10, 13 nominations, let's talk about who we think fits this criteria the best. I think if three of us were to meet and whittle it down to maybe the top one or top two, and then present that to the rest of the commission for final approval, that might be the most effective way to manage this. And I think that would be acceptable. It's not we don't have quorum, so it's not a full meeting. It's not, it's not a public meeting at that point. And so I think we're able to do that on the legal
Yeah, I remember
side.
that there was a limit on the number of people that can meet per the sunshine laws before it's
Right.
considered a public
Right.
meeting that has to be advertised, but I believe 3 is, I think it.
And no decisions.
Right, we're not
at
making
that.
decisions.
So maybe a way to present would be a scoring matrix.
Like a rubric of sorts, yes.
That way, you're just presenting what the ad hoc group,
Yes.
the award had ranked, or however that
Right, that
scored.
yes, that way to also further avoid decisions, not deciding, it's a scoring matrix, I do like that. So I could even work on a scoring matrix for this. Who would we want to sit on, out of those 3 people, who would we want to sit on that group? I'd be more than willing to volunteer myself, but if you guys wanted,
Well, what's the time frame for the nominations and the selection?
I think we could start probably moving forward with this
Now or soon?
now or soon. I would have to talk to the communications department, see if they're willing to, and able to get this up and see their timetable. It might take them a week, 2 weeks, a month to get all everything rolling, because they do have other priorities, but, I think now or soon we could start advertising this. Let's say we close nominations a month after it goes live, to give people in the city about a month to go through. And then that would give us one meeting, so we do this, let's say it opens next week, a month thereafter would put us after our April meeting, we'd come back one more time in May. We as a commission would make a final decision, and we could have the award presented either then, or we could have the award presented later on,
Is May our last meeting?
before break,
Okay.
yes.
And when's the next one, September?
It would be, yes, September, October, yes, September.
Well, you've got like 4 awards that you thought of, which is
Right.
great, so we're not going to run out of awards or.
Right, and just starting with one, I think, is the idea.
Yeah, I agree, yeah. See how well it goes over.
Right.
Or,
And so, yeah, let's say we start March to April, nominations open. That ad hoc committee could meet, look at the scoring matrix, look at the nominations, bring it back to the full group in the May meeting.
So like the ad hoc group would meet like the end of April?
Yes, and it
Okay.
would be those 3 individuals would decide when they're able to meet. Because it's not quorum, it's not a public meeting there. And so, yeah, and then May 1st, I think, or May 1st or 2nd is our next meeting after that. And that would be when the top 2 people on the scoring matrix would be able, May 6th, we'd all come back. Top 2 people on the scoring matrix, that ad hoc committee could say, hey, here is everybody. Here's who the scoring matrix had kind of whittled it down to. As a commission in that public meeting on May 6th, the commission would then make a decision on who the winner would be.
well, when would you recognize the person then?
That would be the problem. If you wanted, that would be the problem. It would either be at our September meeting,
No, we don't.
and the tickets would be for the following year, 2026.
But if it's a pool pass, you're done.
Yeah, if it's a pool pass, it's for, and or Rock the Park, it would be 2026. Assuming those might even be possibilities. right? We might just have a certificate. And so,
Well, we could even have a meeting outside of this one, can we not? Or you're not allowed to have?
well, we'd have to get approval
Oh, okay.
ahead of time. But we could ask for approval ahead of time and,
I mean, I think it'd be better to give out the prize May 2nd or 6th or whenever our last meeting is for the summer. Don't
Or
you?
if you wanted to award it at a council meeting.
Or
right, and
at a-
council,
Meet
if
and
you're trying
discuss
to
it in
award
May and
before,
then do it at the next council
Yeah.
meeting.
yeah, if you're trying to award summer, I think the May council meetings would be our target date then.
Yeah, what are they, every 2 weeks?
And that was a big deal to me, that, like,
Yeah.
you see
And-
everybody on TV and,
And Councilman Bonacci and I could coordinate with the council president. Unfortunately, he's not here today, so. so-
Yeah, because it would just be us clapping for the person. It'd be nice if there was more people
Yeah,
that would recognize them, publicly.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so we could aim for like a May council meeting to recognize an award.
yeah, and then we'll all come if we can and, be here, in the audience, so there's,
seat fillers.
yeah.
Yeah.
More people,
Yeah.
But I think that timeline would work.
yeah.
Does that sound right in my head?
Mhm.
Pat, Councilman Bonacci, does that sound right in my head? Okay.
Yeah,
And so we do need to decide who would be those 3 individuals to kind of sit and look at that scoring matrix, look at the nominations.
What, with the 2 people absent today, I mean,
So-
you talk about 3 people from the commission here?
Yes.
Yes.
If the nominations come in electronically,
Yes.
you can have the scoring matrix electronically for.
Oh, yes.
everybody.
So we're making the timeline maybe a little bit more difficult than
Yes.
Yeah, I didn't
than
even
it
think
needs
that.
to be on the group.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
and
can-
that way you could just everyone could bring their scores to the meeting prepared to. So each person could score independently
Yes.
and discuss, take averages, however you all want to decide. But you're prepared with maybe your rank of awards as an individual member. However you want to decide, I think there's a variety of ways to do it. And if timeline is the challenge, you could have it reviewed before the meeting. Make the vote at your meeting, make the announcement at your meeting, and then invite the awardee to the next council meeting, or a council meeting where we could get you on the agenda.
Yeah. I mean, timeline-wise, as it stands, the May meeting, we definitely have, under either option,
Yeah.
we definitely have our decision. My concern with that is what I don't want is I don't want us to, as we're looking at a scoring matrix here,
Right.
Start talking of all the nominees and why they would not be a good fit or would be better than so-and-so
Well,
based
you
on the
could
scoring
blind
matrices.
them for the point of this discussion as
Right.
well.
A, B, C.
This is true.
yeah.
Lots
In
of
the
flexibility that I think doing it at a meeting makes some sense. And I think having the ability to score independently maybe makes some sense too. I'm just thinking in a way that
Right.
other things that I've been involved with have worked. Yeah, I certainly wouldn't mention like the names of your non-selectees at the meeting.
That's where my mind went ad
So
hoc
you would want to
with three,
blind
yes.
them.
Could you do it at 6:30?
Maybe.
Yeah, we could, but we'd have to, if all of us are here, more than 3 of us are here, we would have to then call the meeting to
Yeah.
order, it'd be
Could
public.
the first 3 I mean, I won't be here, it's election day and I'm working at the polls, but could just the first 3 people or whoever volunteers come at 6:30 and make the decision?
Yeah, I mean, we could do, unless, we can't do that. I think 3 people could make the decision, present based on the matrices of score.
At the meeting
At the
at
meeting.
7.
Yeah.
And would this meeting be after your Earth Day, Arbor Day program?
Yes.
So
Yeah.
there would be an opportunity to promote this at that event?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was the other thing that was,
That's good.
Yeah, because when we
confused in
make
my
the
brain.
decision, it'd be the May
Yeah.
meeting, yeah.
But that's like 3 days. I mean, that's the end of April, and that,
But if we go the 3 individual route, it would just be when those three individuals can look over all the nominees and look at the scoring matrices. And then by the May 6th meeting, just make sure it's done. And that's, I don't
You're
think
gonna
it's,
be able to get the plaque ready in time?
yes, yeah, that's not a concern.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, do we want to go with the three individuals route, or do we want to go as a commission? All of us get like the scoring rubric, we blind out the names, we all individually score, and then we.
Yeah, I think that would be more fair to everybody on the committee. And then if it comes down to a tie, a couple people can break the tie. You could break the tie or something, you know.
Okay. Mike,
that had-
what are your thoughts?
No,
on that?
no, just kind of walk through that scenario again.
Okay, so our options are essentially, we could have three of us, and we as a commission can pick who the three are. We could have three of us, once the nomination process closed, three of us could look through the nominees, look at a rubric, essentially. Think back to kind of school on a rubric. Look at a rubric and grade them based on the rubric, not making any final decisions out of those three. When the-
So 3 people would be doing that, not 7?
Correct.
Okay.
3. And then, based on the rubric, bring 2-3 people to the entire commission on May 6th. And then the entire commission would look at those 2-3 brought forward with the highest rubric score. And then the commission would make a final call on that day of May 6th. That would be one way to go. The other way, we all have scoring rubrics. All of the things are blinded, you know, nominee A, B, C, D. We all have to score it. Then on May 6th, we all have to come prepared to discuss. And if it works perfectly, we all should have participant X as the highest. But if it doesn't, there is the possibility that we have 7 different people scored at number 1, and then we spend a significant amount of time walking through the participants and or nominees, I should say, not participants, the nominees, to try and see who on the scoring rubric is the highest.
Well, you don't want to do it the same day you want to give out the award.
Correct.
You wanna have that
We are
on
not
this-
giving the award out on the May 6th meeting.
Oh, we're not?
We are not.
Oh, okay, I thought we were.
Council meeting after that.
I thought we were giving out at that meeting and then have them be recognized at the council meeting with,
The council meeting would be the following week.
yeah.
If we go that route, our timeline right now, assuming we keep application or nominations open for a month, the timeline wouldn't work.
If we had meetings in June, July, and
Right.
August, we'd be okay, but
Right, the timeline currently doesn't work. If we did this a month earlier, like last month, we could have done that possibly.
Well, if you get it started, it's only March, whatever, and just give them till April 15th, like income tax day or something.
That would still be after our April meeting, which would leave only March. And so that
Only
would
May.
still run,
Yeah.
or, yeah, only May.
What, oh, I see, okay.
I'm comfortable with the panel of 3.
I lean towards the panel of 3.
Is it allowed? That's the only thing. Are we allowed to have a meeting? Do we have to meet here?
No.
Because it's not a public meeting. It's
It's- yeah,
3
we're not-
people, no quorum. It's
Okay.
not a meeting, when we're not deciding anything either.
Okay, okay.
There's no decision. We're looking at a scoring rubric.
Making a recommendation to the rest of the committee of who you think the top few applicants were.
Yes, and I,
Assuming we're going to get more than one or two.
I'm confident, and I lean towards, I believe, the panel of 3. Just because I worry if you go the scoring matrix, everybody does it, you could have 7 different results as number 1, and then you're doing the discussion in a public meeting, and that could take forever.
Yeah.
Not that I have no problem being here all night, but it could be a very long discussion
Do
to
you
whittle
want
it down.
volunteers for this, 3 people, or do you want to just pick 3 people?
I think
or-
right now, we would need to decide as a commission, in order to take a vote on which option we want to go forward with. And so panel of 3, let's say this, I'd move that we go through the nomination process with a panel of 3. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? All right, so we'll move forward with the panel of 3.
Perfect. I don't think you need to assign the panel of 3 at this point.
Okay.
You could assign the panel of 3 in your March, April meeting.
Right, yeah, it could be just done later.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, and so we could assign that panel of 3 later on at our April meeting.
Okay.
And so, Yeah, because we don't even have applications live yet. They're not open, so there's no rush to
Is
assign.
there going to
all
be
three.
instructions how the people get their applications
Yes.
to us? Okay.
Yes, yeah, it'll all be on that one source on the city
Website.
webpage.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
You know, I can assist with getting those applications from Mark through the through the submission and taking the names off and giving them to you
Yes.
without names.
Yeah,
that you can-
please, thank you. All right. Is there any other conversation on the Good Neighbor Award? All right. Then we move on to excusing absent members. I make a motion that we excuse Gina Hutter and Shantanu Pahi. Is there a second?
A second.
Seconded by Michael. All those in favor of excusing the absent members, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, please say nay. And the members have been excused. Our next meeting date is April 1st, 2025 at 7 PM here in council chambers. At that meeting, we'll decide maybe who would be the panel of three. We'll continue conversation on how maybe nominations are going for this award. And we'll just continue conversations about our Earth Day event, which will be coming up April 26th.
And you're going to email us about the T-shirts.
And I will email you guys about t-shirts. Yes, be on the lookout for that.
Okay.
And so at this time, is there any opposition to adjourning at 7:51?
I second the motion.
All right, we will adjourn at 7:51 PM.